Hey, welcome to The Ride. Stops on today's tour include a trail ride in a little-known area of eastern Ontario known as the Missing Link. We head into the mountains for a test ride event that offers up a unique package of fun. And we go trackside for some early season jump and bump in Quebec. This is STV. It's all good. Let's roll. STV is sponsored by Camoplast Ice Tech Pre-Studded Track. By Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it. And by Carlisle Ultimax XS snowmobile belts. For long-haul riders looking for a great tour route that offers a real diverse mix of trail topography can sometimes be a challenge if you're really set on experiencing the buffet of terrain. The STV crew was introduced to perhaps the largest mix of riding when we visited Eastern Ontario and rode the OFSC's District 6 region. Boasting over 2,500 kilometers of trails that scoot along the historic Ottawa River between Renfrew and Deux-Rivières and over to Haliburton County, this riding area was an absolute blast to experience. High elevations, tight and twisty forest trails, hydroline corridors, and just about everything one could ask for when it comes to having fun on a sled. We were invited here to ride when snow conditions in some areas was slim at best, but from the moment when we arrived, we knew conditions were solid and the clubs and operators in this region make sure touring riders have an excellent time.
I would say come up for uncrowded trails, well-groomed system, fairly well-signed. Lots of service, lots of accommodation on corridors, pipeline, tight bush trails, high elevation, lake running, everything. Our trails are readily accessible from northern U.S. states, Quebec. We offer a better corridor with better services and accommodations if you're heading north. Someone can come up here, spend 2, 3, 4 days, stay in one resort and never run out of the trail. Very often you wouldn't actually hit the same trail twice.
Well, this area is an important stop on the RAP Tour. It's also popular for day trips. You can spend 3, 4, 5 days on the trails just staying in one location. It's much like Northern Ontario, but it's typical Canadian Shield. You have tight trails, abandoned railway corridors, farmers' fields. There's a great mix in this area.
The local club may be called the Missing Link, but we can assure you, the only thing missing on this trip was sled traffic. We owned the place. It was awesome.
There are no other sleds here. It's wide open spaces, beautiful country, nobody shooting at you. We're standing on the borderline of Algonquin Park in Renfrew County. This snowmobile trail parallels the borderline of Algonquin Park and very beautiful scenery. And we're in a place right now called Collins Pass. Quite a deep area pass, one so deep that the groomers can't get through it. They come to each end and turn out at the top of the hill.
Oh, the trails are gorgeous up here, of course. With the low volume of sleds that we have up here, the trails are always great. We get an average snowfall base of 2 to 3 feet, and so the sky's the limit as far as grooming goes, and the way the trails are kept is phenomenal. Pretty much have a full gamut of trail system around here as far as you can be in the bush 1 minute, on the Trans-Canada pipeline the next minute. There's, of course, many lakes around here, rivers, if you enjoy lake sledding or river sledding as well. Sky's the limit.
For a day trip or a long haul, the STV crew had a fantastic time and highly recommends you go ride in this region of Eastern Ontario. It's a place to experience all kinds of riding terrain and some super hospitality. Special thanks to Terry and his crew for all their support. We'll be back. Over the years, there's been huge improvements in the technology that goes into building a sled. In the mountain segment, with bigger horsepower and longer skids, it has meant that track technology has had to keep up with these new mountain climbers.
That's probably one of the biggest steps the mountain market has gone through in the last at least 10 years, really. I mean, I remember when the first 136 2-inch paddle track came out after so many years of running plastic paddles. The manufacturers came on board with the 2-inch track, and they were 136 and then 141, and for For the longest time, a 156 was considered incredibly long, but now the OEMs are coming out with 159s, 162s, 166s. So there's certainly a lot of long tracks out there, and like I said, the standard seems to be a real popular choice as the 162 track for sure. Certainly there'll be more advances as far as lightweight goes, and maybe reducing some weight and maybe some durometer, but the track length, I think we're really at the limit, my opinion anyways, but who knows, some OEM might come out with a super long track or something totally radical in the next few years, but the way it's been going, there's certainly been a lot of development in the rubber track business for sure.
Test riding in the mountains when STV returns.